How's it going, trainers, and welcome to another Pokemon Go PvP video. Today we're going to be diving into the Sinister Cup meta, specifically the Steel types. The Steel types that we're going to be talking about are Steelix, Empoleon, Bastiodon, and Mawile. So let's get right into it. Starting things off, let's talk about Steelix. Dragon Tail or Thunderfang, Crunch, and Earthquake will be the move sets that you want. As you can see, Dragon Tail produces 10 energy and 9 damage, whereas Thunderfang produces 5 energy and 8 damage with each. In the 2 shield, you can see that Dragon Tail helps you handle Dusclops and Bronzong, whereas Alolan Marowak and Claydol are a little bit grayed out, meaning it's kind of dependent on PvP IVs as well as shield usage, like whether they use it or not, of course. And it's also more than likely kind of closer to a tie. In the 1 shield, it can handle Dusclops and Claydol, and comes close with Poliwrath and Bayonet. In the no shield situation, you can handle Dusclops. Thunderfang in the 2 shield can handle Lugia, Gallade, and Bayonet. 1 shield, Lugia again. And in the no shields, it pretty much handles Poliwrath, so that's pretty neat. So that is what you would mostly want Thunderfang for, is the flying type Lugia and the water type Poliwrath. Overall, Dragon Tail is arguably the better move in terms of safety in the majority of matchups, and Dragon Tail also wins the mirror match against opposing Steelixes, so knowing that, I think honestly that's the safer bet to go with, because you're covering the more meta Pokemon as it is, whereas Thunderfang is more if you're worried about water types, and I guess a flying type Lugia. Next up we have Bastiodon, and he really is a literal steel wall. With Smackdown, Stone Edge, and Flamethrower, he has quite a few notable wins, mostly being Alolan Marowak, Drifblim, Mawile, Haunter, Cresselia. The list goes on. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 Pokemon just right there. It is also notable that Bastiodon is the only of the 4 Steels we're talking about that can handle all 5 of the main Ghost types, being Haunter, Drifblim, Dusclops, Alolan Marowak, Bayonet, all of them. So it really serves its purpose as a Steel type, but that's really just about it. What Bastiodon is really lacking is honestly versatility, with its Rock Fast move and its Rock Charge move, and then Flamethrower not really hitting much other than the occasional other Steel type. It just doesn't bring too much to the table. However, if you really feel you know what you're doing with Bastiodon, it is a safe to use Pokemon in that sense. Just watch out for fighters. So let's go ahead and move on to Empoleon, and it is the water specialist. With Waterfall, Flash Cannon, and Hydro Pump, it notably beats Alolan Marowak, no matter the moveset, Gardevoir, Haunter, Girafarig, Bastiodon, Bronzong, and Claydol. And what's really great about Empoleon is it could pretty much wall 2 of the most meta mons in the Sinister Cup, being Steelix and Alolan Marowak. So if your opponent has both of those on their team of 3 when they come against you, and you happen to have the right lead with Empoleon, you really shut down your opponent, because looking at it as Steelix, Alolan Marowak, just pick any of these other 1, 2, 3, 6 mons to go with their team of 3, and chances are that's going to be their team of 3. So it should be noted though that Empoleon has the lowest overall win percentage amongst the other Steel types that we're even talking about, but it is also the only one capable of handling both Alolan Marowak and Haunter from the Ghost type category. So pretty neat. Now let's talk about Mawile, the secret dark attacker. Its Dark Fast move, Bite, with Power Up Punch and Play Rough, is really broken if used correctly. Its notable wins are Haunter, Girafarig, Bronzong, Drifblim, Alolan Raichu, Cresselia, Claydol, Dusclops, and Gallade, and others. Its Bite Fast move allows you just to rip through Psychic types and Ghost types, and you can just keep doing that, and all Power Up Punch is to help buff your Bite attacks. It's just so spammy. The thing to remember about Mawile though is it's really glassy, so therefore it's really shield dependent. So it's a really awesome lead, and it's a great closer if you have a shield left. Now there is an argument for Iron Head instead of Play Rough. Iron Head costs 50 energy and does 70 damage, whereas Play Rough does 60 energy for 90 damage. And what these really pick up is Iron Head and the no shields allow you to pick up Alolan Marowak and Gardevoir, whereas Play Rough picks up Poliwrath in the no shield. And then in the one shield, Poliwrath also picks up Gallade. So it's really what you would prefer your Mawile to do with its extra charge move. But truth be told, what you should really be focusing on is that bite damage and power up punching it to get more powerful, because it is ridiculous. With all that being said, let's go ahead and move into some gameplay, testing all 4 of these Mons. Starting things off, I believe we're going to be playtesting our Mawile right away. We lead into an Alolan Marowak, which is a great matchup. We do have to watch out for the Bone Club, and Fire Spin damage will hurt. He switches into a Steelix. We could have stayed in that, but we're going to take the switch advantage and stick with Poliwrath, and Power Up Punch this sucker away while doing Bubble super effective damage as well. We land the Power Up Punch. He's coming in with a Crunch, but I believe it could be an Earthquake by now, so we do shield. It is a Crunch, so he got our shield. That's fine. We're going to Power Up Punch it again. See what we can get out of him. And we force the shield. And we honestly believe that we get to another Power Up Punch before anything, and we do. So we are going to finish him or take his final shield. Let's see. We do finish him. Now he comes in with a Gallade. We got to watch out because this thing can fire Leaf Blades like you wouldn't believe. So here it comes. Presumably a Leaf Blade. We're not going to shield. And it hits. And one thing to know about Gardevoir is it is glassy. But we have a Shadow Ball ready. We're going to see if we get our last shield from Alolan Marowak, and we do. He finishes us off. We come in with Mawile, and we are just going to melt it. We try to get that Power Up Punch in right away, but he gets to a Bone Club, so we have to shield. He has 2 in a row. 2 in a row. That is crazy. Here comes another Bone Club. That did quite a bit of damage. We're able to save our Power Up Punch for the Gallade in the back. We're going to fire it and hope that our bite damage can suffice, and look at this bite damage go. Power Up Punch bite damage is broken. Game 2, against the same opponent, we're going to lead with Poliwrath this time, and we walk into a Empoleon. His waterfall damage isn't going to do anything to us, we are just resisting, so we are going to Power Up Punch him and hit him for super effective damage against his Steel subtyping. Does good enough. Another Power Up Punch. One thing to note about Empoleon is its really only viable charge moves are Hydro Pump and Flash Cannon, and they take so long to get to that we know they're going to hurt, so we're going to shield. Here comes the Hydro Pump, even though it's resisted. We shield. We're already Powered Up Punch 2 to 3 times. We're going to fire again against Steelix, because this is going to be so boosted. We take a shield finally. Get to another Power Up Punch. Take both shields. He wants the Steelix. We are confident that if we shield, we could get to another Power Up Punch. And at this point, we're Power Up Punched times 4 or 5. So here comes 5 or 6 Power Up Punch. And boom. Bye-bye Steelix. Next thing comes in a Primeape, and this is a Legacy Primeape, so we are going to Confusion it, but we got to watch out for the Night Slash. He comes in with Empoleon, and we chip damage him away. We're going to Synchronize right away before he get a Night Slash off, which would be super effective against our Gardevoir, and finish him. GG. Going into the next set of 3, we're going to lead with Mawile yet again. We walk into an Alolan Marowak. Fantastic matchup, even with the Fire Spin damage. He switches into Primeape, we switch right away because that's super effective against us. Gardevoir. Now, like I said, we're worried for Night Slash, and here it comes. That would have been bad. So we go ahead and shield and finish him off with Confusion damage. He comes in with his Alolan Marowak. We're stuck in, so we're going to Shadow Ball and bait that shield and take the loss if we have to. Here it comes. He's going to get his. We're just going to let it die. We don't want to waste a shield on this. I mean, he's going to kill us either way. We come in with our Mawile to melt it down with bite damage. We give it a shield because, like we said, Mawile is very shield dependent. That Bone Club would have hurt. We're going to Power Up Punch and try to get our bite damage to do even more. We take his final shield, and here comes the bites, finishing him off even though we had less health than him. He's coming in with a Gallade. That is no bueno, and we're gone at this point. And this is going to be an L because he has Leaf Blades coming, and they are going to hurt Poliwrath's Water subtyping. So anyways, we don't even get to a Power Up Punch. GG's. Next up on the chopping block, I believe we're going to be playtesting Empoleon, and there we go. Empoleon has the lead against the Steelix. This is a fantastic matchup. All we had to do is farm Waterfalls and block whatever comes at us. It could be an Earthquake, it could be a Crunch, it does not matter. We're blocking. Should only get to 1 in time. And we're going to finish it without using any charge move. Now let's see what she has next. She comes in with an Alolan Marowak, and this is a fantastic matchup. We're going to try to Hydro Pump right away and assume that we get a shield, and we do. Just gonna keep going, and we are gonna give our Empoleon a shield, I think. Yep, because we're confident that we could either finish it with fast move damage or a Hydro Pump. We get it with fast move damage, so we have a Hydro Pump ready and waiting for the final Pokemon to take her last shield. And we do. And we have 2 against 1. We're going to come in with our Claydol, even though it's a bad matchup, so that we could take her first charge move, and then immediately switch into our Haunter, and we will be able to finish it off. Boom, just like that. Melted like butter. Game 2, same opponent, we're going to lead with Claydol, and we walk into an Alolan Marowak, and that is a no-go. We are going to charge up to Earth Power at least, and then probably attempt to switch. Looks like I was actually trying to get that Earth Power. But we're going to shield because this could be a Shadow Ball, and it was. We're going for the Earth Power because it is super effective damage. We want to see if we can get her shield. We do. And honestly, Claydol's doing pretty good against it. We get to another Earth Power, we're going to go ahead and let it kill us. Go ahead, it's not a big deal. Hurry up and finish it off with Empoleon, so we get a little bit of energy charged up. Comes in with Raichu, we switch, we do not want to see that. Now, Haunter is also glassy, so you never want to pair it with something like Mawile, but alongside Empoleon, who is a little bit tanky, it works out pretty well. We're going to get to a Shadow Punch, I believe it was, yep, and finish off this Alolan Raichu. And she has a Steelix, but that's okay, because guess what we have in the back? Empoleon. We're going to get to a Shadow Ball, because if it hits, it's going to do about half health damage. We take her final shield, and Empoleon is primed to get to its Hydro Pump. But Haunter, like a beast, gets to another Shadow Punch, and does a little bit more chip damage, and now all we need is to not die from an Earthquake. That's the bad thing. Here comes Earthquake, and as you can see, we died. GG. Next game, we're going to lead with Haunter this time, and we walk into an Alolan Raichu. This is an okay matchup. We're both pretty spammy and pretty glassy, so pretty even, whereas we have the super effective damage. We beat her to Shadow Punch instead of her Thunder Punch. She blocks, so we're going to block. Shield for shield, right? Thunder Punch, blocked, and try to finish her off with fast moves, which we do. We have a Shadow Punch ready for whatever comes, and it is an Alolan Marowak, so this will be super effective. Let's hope we get the last shield. We do. Awesome. And she finishes off with some Fire Spins, and we're going to come in with our Empoleon and try to farm. She switches to Medicham. We switch because that's super effective damage. Now we have the super effective matchup. We're going to let her hit us with this Power Up Punch, but yep, it is Power Up Punch. Ice Punch is going to hurt if it lands, but we're going to try to get to an Earth Power. See what she has coming at us. No shield. It is an Ice Punch. It does pretty good. We get to our Earth Power. Better than nothing. Almost finish her and take her out with 1 Confusion. She comes with her Alolan Marowak and immediately uses a charge move. That is absolutely fine. Save our shield. Boom. And here comes our Empoleon to tie this game up, as we have our last shield to block no matter what it is, which is a Bone Club, super effective damage, and we finish her off. GG. Next set of 3. Who are we playtesting? I believe this is Bastiodon. We're going to switch into Bastiodon. Yep, it's a bad matchup. Medicham does not like Haunter. She is going to fire off a Shadow Punch. Doesn't do much. We are a wall. Here comes the Steelix. This is a pretty okay matchup. We're going to go ahead and go for the Flamethrower, knowing that we're going to more than likely get her shield. And we don't. We almost do half health damage. We don't want to take an Earthquake right now, but we're going to let her finish us, because we have Medicham. Farm away with Medicham. She's going to get something. We're going to give 1 shield to our Medicham, because we want to preserve it. We want to finish her off with fast moves, and we do. And now no matter what the hell is coming in, we are Power Punching, but it is a Drifblim, and Ice type damage is super effective, so go for that Ice Punch, because she might think it's Power Up Punch, and it does land. Let's go for the Ice Punch again. Let's see if we can do it twice. We don't. We get a shield. She still has 1. Trying to get to another Ice Punch. We are going to commit. Boom. Get to another Ice Punch. See if we can take it from her, because we still have our Drifblim in the back, ready and waiting, and we get her. Try to finish her off with some counters, but she gets to presumably an Ominous Wind to finish us off. And she gets us, yep. And then our Drifblim comes in. 1 Hex takes her down. She has a Haunter ready and waiting, but we have Ominous Wind also ready and waiting. We take her final shield. Let's see if we can survive a Shadow Punch. But nope, it is a Shadow Ball. We are going to get wrecked. GG. Going into the next game, we're going to lead with Bastiodon this time. We lead into a Steelix. This isn't so bad, but it also isn't so great. It's a kind of matchup where you're going to have to devote shields if she stays with it. So we're going to switch into a Medicham right when the Crunch comes, or Earthquake. Crunch, good thing with shield. She switches to Haunter, and that is not good. In this situation, I honestly have to recommend, if you have Ice Punch, Power Up Punch Medicham, to just devote to Ice Punches. So let's see if we can land this, because she's probably going to think it's a Power Up Punch. We take a shield, that's fine. Medicham did something. We're going to come in right away with our Bastiodon and Stone Edge this Haunter, because it does do well. She blocks it, we've taken both shields, and Bastiodon is not afraid of anything that Haunter has to pack at it. So here we go, we're going to farm some smackdowns on it. That's the thing about Bastiodon, honestly, is it's kind of slow, and even though we resist, Shadow Ball kills us, and we have to come in and finish off the Haunter with some hexes from our Drifblim. She gets to a freaking Shadow Punch, so we gotta give it our shield. No shields down, Drifblim against 2 Pokemon at about 2/3 health. Here comes a Steelix, let's see what Drifblim can do. Ominous Wind, we're gonna try to get the buff. We get the buff, but we have no shields and she has the Crunch. This is still gonna hurt. She gets us into the yellow, almost the red. We need one more Ominous Wind. This might do it, but I regret to tell you that it's probably gonna take a Shadow Ball even with the buff, and yep it is. So we just missed taking her out, and she's gonna finish us with Crunch. And that is going to be a GG. Next game up, we are going to lead with a Drifblim and walk into an Empoleon. And that's honestly not bad of a matchup. We're not doing great, but Waterfall is also meh. But we're going to switch into our Medicham to get some super effective damage in. She switches in with a Haunter, but we have an Ice Punch ready and waiting this time. See if we get a shield. We get a shield. Let's go for one more Ice Punch before we get hit. We're going to give it the shield. We want to land this Ice Punch. We really need it to not lose the momentum that we're trying to obtain. Ice Punch, we get the Excellent. We land it, get her in the yellow. It's better than nothing. And we're going to come in with our Bastiodon. We're not afraid of a Shadow Ball. We're not afraid of a Shadow Punch. Its Shadow Punch does nothing. Bastiodon didn't even feel it. And we're going to finish it off with Smackdowns. Here comes a Primeape. This is not bueno. We're going to let it kill us. It's Cross Chop, Legacy, oof. Here comes Drifblim with an Ominous Wind ready and waiting. We're going to try to get this hit because it is going to pretty much come close to killing. And hope to get a buff. We didn't get the buff. We're close to killing. We're going to block this Night Slash, which it is. That would have hurt. We're going to finish it off with fast moves, I believe. Yep. So we have a Shadow Ball or an Ominous Wind. We're going to go for the Ominous Wind, hoping that he thinks it's a Shadow Ball. We get the final shield. We're trying to get to that Shadow Ball, but he gets to a Hydro Pump or Flash Cannon before we can get to anything. And GG. Next up, we're going to be playtesting Steelix, I believe. We're going to lead with Alolan Marowak right into another Alolan Marowak. Now remember, Shinies do more damage. We're going for the Bone Club, but we're going to go for the Shadow Ball instead because we anticipated the switch. But it is a Bastiodon, and as you can see, Shadow Ball does about a quarter health. We get to a Bone Club, that's going to be super effective damage. Now that is going to do about a third health. Not bad. We're going to shield whatever this is, because whatever it is will do bad damage to us unless it's Flamethrower, and it is Stone Edge. Good thing we blocked it. Go for another Bone Club, try to take a shield. We do. One shield, one shield. We're getting for another Bone Club, but we just miss it. That's honestly my bad. I think I over-tapped on my fast attacks. We come in with the Steelix. She's going to have a Flamethrower ready. There it is. We block it. We have to give our final shield. We're going to finish it off with fast moves. This is a battle of the century right there. Alright, we have a Crunch ready and waiting, but she has a charge move ready and waiting. Let's see what it is. It is Bone Club. That's alright. We're going to go for our Crunch, try to finish off this Alolan Marowak. Get her in the yellow. We got another Crunch right away. See what we can do. Yep, and we take her out. We got 2 to her 1, and she still has 1 shield to her no shields. We get to a Crunch, we're going to go for it, assumingly taking her final shield. That we do. And we need to hurry up and get to another Crunch, unless she gets a Shadow Ball. Let's see what she goes for first. She went for Shadow Ball, so that is going to take out our Steelix. But we're going to come in with Girafarig. And the great thing about Girafarig is its normal subtyping helps to resist ghost type damage, so not very effective. But she got the buff. We have Thunderbolt ready and waiting, and Drifblim's sub-flying type is not going to like a Thunderbolt despite its buff, so that is a GG. Game 2 of this matchup, we lead with Girafarig into a Medicham, and that is a pretty even matchup. As you can see, Confusion being super effective to her, Counter being super effective to us. She's going to Power Punch, we're going to let it hit. We're going to go for the Psychic. I should have went for the Thunderbolt, honestly. Now in retrospect, don't do well with that. We do take the shield, she switches into Bastiodon, and we're going to switch and try to preserve our Girafarig, going into a Alolan Marowak. Immediately trying to Bone Club, get some super effective damage in there, which lands, does decently. We're going to block because this could be a Stone Edge, and it is. Good block. Let's try to get to another Bone Club or two before she gets to another Stone Edge. One Bone Club, get her in the red, and just miss. It is not worth shield, and whatever comes in next is going to hurry up and finish this Bastiodon and be allowed to farm. So Steelix come in there and farm, get a crunch ready for whatever's coming next. But she gets to a Flamethrower, right? Flamethrower? Yep. Ugh. We have to give our last shield, but we have an Earthquake ready for whatever. She comes in immediately firing with the Power-Up Punch. Good move. But it's an Ice Punch. Interesting. We're going to Crunch. We're not going to waste an Earthquake on a Medicham because Crunch is going to do super effective damage. Almost finishing her, and then Dragon Tails will finish off this Medicham. We have an Earthquake ready and waiting, but we're going to go for the Crunch because we haven't seen a Ghost yet. And it is Drifblim. We take that final shield. We get to one more Crunch just in time to do some super effective damage to this Drifblim, get her half killed, and trying to switch, but the game was being a little laggy, and she finishes off her Steelix, and is going to have a charge move before we get to our Thunderbolt. That's why we needed that switch. Oh well. Good game. Going on to the final game of this set of 3, we're going to be leading with a Alolan Marowak again against a Cresselia. This appears as a good matchup, but Cresselia is so tanky that it's honestly still difficult. You really have to work around it. I get the Shadow Ball. Let's try to get an excellent in here, and we're going to need it. We get it. We take her first shield. As you can see, her just giving up one shield, we're at half health right now. So we need to give it a shield no matter what the charge move is. We gotta get to another Shadow Ball, and I do prefer to just straight Shadow Ball against Cresselia's. Get to another excellent. We almost finish her. And at this point, it is not worth devoting a shield to a Alolan Marowak, so a Confusion user just beat a Ghost type. Keep that noted for Cresselia. Cresselia is a beast. We finish it off with Girafarig. She comes in with Medicham. As we talked before, it's a pretty even matchup. We're going to go for the Thunderbolt this time. Good decision. Let's see what she does. She goes for the Ice Punch again. We're going to go for the Thunderbolt, and I honestly think this is more likely to kill, and it almost does, and we finish her off with the Confusion. We anticipated that there'd be something that we need to switch into Steelix, and we just let it finish off Girafarig instead, and then come in with Steelix. We're going to block this Flamethrower. Now we have no shield. She still has one, so we have to charge up to the Earthquake, but use Crunch instead to take her final shield, because she's going to think it's Earthquake, and we've got to get to an Earthquake. And we do before she gets to anything, so that is fantastic, but this is not going to kill. It's going to come close. She's going to get a Flamethrower, but as many people know, a Flamethrower isn't enough, but it's a Stone Edge. The Stone Edge doesn't do anything, so we're going to finish off with a Crunch, almost not even needing it, and that is going to be it. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the Steel-type coverage of the Sinister Cup. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.